Well, good evening. Good evening. Welcome to my podcast, Real Talk with Lequita Taylor now. I do want to say, first of all, let me tell you a couple things. I have my hat on that I wore. This is my church hat. But I went to a beautiful luncheon today, Attitude. And it was about 700 people at that event. And so, we had to wear our hats, and then I wind up. Well, I don't want to look at you because I have my guest, but she's my friend too. But I wind up, I had to model my hat, and I did my little dance, and I won fabulous interest. So I was cutting it. So I just, it was so much fun.
Yeah.
We had a good day today.
We did.
Now, if y'all don't mind, I want to take my hat off because it's a little hot. Baby T, maybe my team baby. Thank you, sweetheart. They look like Seal Morgan Smith's hat, though. All right. So now, okay, I'm back. I'm here to get serious, y'all. I'm just tired, but I was so excited. I'm just, I have different ones that are really wanting to be a part of this podcast, and I know when we get it all straightened out, it's just going to be wonderful. I have people that are wanting to be on, and I talked to Cleo. She was at the luncheon today, and she wants to come on my podcast. So I have a lot of people that are really wanting to be a part of what we are doing. And I just thank God for all the people that are following us. I hope, again, that you be part of our journey as we do Real Talk with Lequita Taylor now. So now I want to introduce my guest. Oh, I do need to say this. The young lady that we were going to have on today, she got sick, so she was not able to come. I won't mention her name until she really is on. She has an awesome testimony, and that's what my podcast is going to be about. So today, my buddy, my funeral director, Adrienne Martin-Fullwood, she just stepped in. We were on our way from the event and found out that my person could not be here, so we got to talking. I said, let's do it, Adrienne. Adrienne's an actress, and she knows how to talk, does commercials and everything else. So,
Stop.
You did. Oh, you're so humble. You're so sweet. Bless you. So, Adrienne, we talked about some things, and I want to go into some things.
Excuse me.
Again, the luncheon that we went to was very, very wonderful. But before I get started, I want to tell a little bit of your biography. I want to read that.
Sure.
And then I'll turn it over to you. We're going to talk about a few things.
Sure.
And I think it's going to be good. I'm glad you are with me today. Okay, so let's do this. Adrienne Martin-Fullwood, executive partner and producer of 5280 Artists Co-op Entertainment Group. Adrienne has been in the entertainment business for over 35 years. She has performed in over 100 theatrical shows, voiceover productions, in addition to countless TV commercials, both local and national, short films, and training videos. Her credits also include producing and directing, which includes her most recent directing debut. She currently worked as a facilitator for Kaiser. Oh no, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm tired. She told me didn't have to worry about that. We're gonna keep it short. Let me. Okay, Adrienne, don't be talking slick tomorrow.
Oh no,
okay?
no ma'am. No.
Talking mess.
This is fun.
Okay. So anyway, she performed in plays such as for colored girls who have considered suicide, When the Rainbow is Enough, Waiting to be Invited, and Colorism. Also, the Aurora Fox Theater's one-woman production. I'll never forget that. Of Who Will Sing for Me. And Arvada Center, The Great Gatsby, and A Raisin in the Sun, and Intimate Apparel and Crowns. And last but not least, and many more, but we can only do a few, Flying West. Her appearance in commercials continues to strive, and she enjoys the journey. Her commercials have included Hallmark, Belco Credit Union, Estella Retirement Planning, Colgate Toothpaste, and many others. Adrienne has received awards and nominations within the Denver community, which have included the Henry Awards nomination for Best Actress, Intel Martha, not tomorrow, and the Shadow Light Award, created by the late iconic theatrical model Jeffrey Nicholson for Best Actress of the Year. In addition to being an actress and an award recipient, she is also a part-time funeral director and secretary and wherever I need her. And Taylor Funeral and Cremation Services. She's been with Michael and I for about 18 years.
Yeah, it's my love.
So we've done a lot, accomplished a lot, and not only are you my friend, but you are special to my heart. And as we honor your job, honor your ministry. So, y'all, I really can talk now. Right now, I'm just tired tongue now. So just, disregard.
It's been a long day. It has. For real. I'll vouch for you.
Okay, so Adrienne, welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
And
Thanks
we
for having me.
I had some notes that I wanted to kind of cover, and then I'll let you kind of take over.
Sure.
But did you know that the month of May is the month of women empowerment?
I didn't.
Okay. That speaks volumes,
Mm-hmm.
especially what happened today. I have to say this, all those women. And one thing I seen as we were in that luncheon, it was 700 women, white, black.
Yes.
Everyone had on beautiful hats. It wasn't about color. It was about acknowledging women of their beauty, acknowledging how they had created their hats, and just getting ready to just celebrate a nice luncheon and fashion show with these women. And I was very honored, and I have to tell y'all, I won her.
She sure
Let
did.
me tell this. I was out there, them 700 women, child, they had me, my table selected me. I went up there, got in line, and I came out, my hat, and did my look, as my son called it, funky chicken. Those see, y'all know how I be jamming. Got out there, and we did that, honey, and I won. I could not believe it, for fabulous interest. I was just excited.
Yeah.
So tell a little bit about empowerment. You deal with a lot of women and different things. You're all in different theaters and talking to, making these commercials and dealing with a lot of people. So can you just talk a little bit on your field for women in empowerment?
Sure, and I'll start with the Attitude.
Yes.
That was the event, of course, that we had the honor of attending today. And the thing about the Attitude, it's for women voices in the arts.
Okay.
And so it's a fundraiser, a nonprofit organization, and I think they've been around maybe about 20 years. I just went for the first time last year, and you're absolutely right. It was really, it was empowering, to be around all these positive women that had so much to say, and they would just, don't you love how they would take pictures and say, can I take a picture with you?
Yes.
Because they felt like, you're somebody, I'm somebody, let's take pictures together. So
exactly.
The love that they gave us was just, it really was something to be said. It really was.
It was. So the thing for this evening is that I think is very powerful, from struggle to strength.
Yeah.
The power of women's empowerment. Will you speak on that?
I will. And so I know people are wondering, why do I have my hat on? And we talked about me taking removing my hat. And before I remove it, the story of, may I share my journey?
Please.
So this time last year, I went to have surgery, eye surgery. And it was to remove cataracts. And then I also, unfortunately, stacked another surgery, which was a colonoscopy. It wasn't even surgery. It's just, the routine as you get past the 60 mark, And I think it was just a shock to my body. We have not done complete research to find out exactly what happened. So therefore, about a month later, after those 2 eye surgeries and the colonoscopy, I began to lose my hair. And when you lose hair, generally my hair was about as long as yours, and you start to lose hair and you think, maybe I need to go get it trimmed. So I was thinking, maybe I need to go get my hair trimmed, and it kept coming out, and then it got thinner and thinner, and then I remember going to the gym, And I looked at myself and I looked at all the women with all this beautiful hair. And I kept saying, I can't do this anymore. Because what I found is me trying to hold on to my hair. And God kept telling me, get rid of it. Let's start new. You are who you are. I made you in my own image. So I literally left the gym and I walked over to Great Clips. And there was a woman that I go and get my hair trimmed. Her name was Sarah. And she's from Ethiopia, beautiful woman. And so when I walked in, I took my hat off. She goes, oh my God, what happened to your hair? And I went to, I said, I really don't know. And I was feeling some kind of way. I was sad. I don't even know if I was depressed. I was going through a lot of different emotions. Yeah, but just the shock. Not only did I lose my hair, what I did have left, it turned white. Turned white as snow. So, and I really didn't have gray hair. For my age.
I have enough for both of us.
Right. So, I told her, I said, you know what? Just shave it. Just cut it. She said, are you sure? I said, yeah. And it was so, I can't even tell you, explain what I went through. It's such a transformation of freedom, of not having to worry about what my hair looks like for the day. You know, you got to tie it up. You just know what I mean. If you didn't tie it, then it was wild. You know, you had to do all these different things. And product, the money that you spend on product is unbelievable. So going to the hairstylist, and not to knock any, because I love hair still, but it is what it is. So I've embraced it, and so as a result, I have no hair.
And you're rocking it.
Thank you.
You're rocking that.
So
you are.
I was afraid.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much. And I was so afraid to really show that, because you're very exposed. You're very exposed. So I was afraid to tell my husband, and I was going to tell him that I cut it, because we had a conversation prior to that, and he said, no, it'll grow, let it grow. It'll, come back. I said, honey, it's like straw. It's not coming back. He says, you have no faith. I said, it's not that. It is reality. So when I got home, he was more angry because I did not share with him that I was going to cut it. I didn't include him. And so I apologized, and he says, actually, it looks pretty good.
I want to piggyback off what you said. Some people, they don't understand. Especially, I think, with husbands or wives, it's like, why didn't you tell me? But see, everyone has to deal with their own emotions. Yeah. Some people don't want to say anything right away. Some people like, I just went to the doctor and my hair is gone and this is what we have to do. When I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I went through the chemo, and they said, usually you get, my girlfriends got me, I'll never forget it, it's Dora Janelle, Leslie Janelle, and Pat Mackey. And they said, they say, get a short haircut, get one up on cancer. Because I was going to lose my hair. And they got my short look, it was cute and everything.
Excuse me.
And 2 weeks after I had my first treatment of chemo, it began to fall, and I'll never forget. I don't know when your hair was when you were losing your hair, I remember where my hair, I was sitting in the kitchen talking to Michael, and my hair was itching, and I went to pull it, and it was like plugs was coming out of my hair. That was the most painful thing that I had ever expected.
It was.
And I thought that, okay, and I was like, Lord God, me and you, we grew up high school.
Yes.
We all had long running track,
black hair.
Running track, honey, our hair be flying. There wasn't no wigs or weaves, girl. It was our hair, honey.
No, it
and
was.
So, they told me to be myself. That's all I could do. But it wasn't wigs. We was running and doing our hair.
Flojo hair. That's what we had.
Come on, baby. Tell it now.
My hair was flow.
Yeah.
We both ran track together.
Yeah, we did.
She was South. I was George Washington.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
Yes.
But anyway.
But it was very painful. So, did you have that same as it was falling out? Because mine, and then 3 days later, I had Michael shave my hair. I couldn't take it.
Wow.
It was hurting so bad, and I'm walking around, and I got a patch here, a bald spot here, hair here. And I said, I can't do this. I need you to shave it. And he shaved it. And so, at that time it was very emotional because he was crying and
Oh.
I was crying, but but I thank God. I thank God for the experience. When you go through, my testimony helps somebody else.
Absolutely.
No, it seems like it's the end of the world, but you can make it with God.
Yeah.
See, now, you can
on.
make it.
See?
And so now with you rocking it. If you had one of them big old rock while head.
Right. Yeah, it'd be a wig for sure. It'll never.
All right.
It'll never come
God,
out.
you got big old head now. You be like, Lord Jesus, I ain't got no hair in my head.
Right.
Oh well.
Yeah.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
I told you from the beginning.
You did. You did. Because I remember coming into the office and I thought, oh God, everybody knows me for hair. Because my hair was long. It's very thick, coal black.
Beautiful.
And and then I finally went on Facebook and I did a shadow shot. And it's just interesting to get the responses. And it was like, that's an interesting shot. Why did you do it half? Because I was kind of out to show you. And then I was like, no, I can't. And some of them were like, oh my God, it's beautiful. And it was like, why would you cut your hair?
Tell about the lady you said that was questioning you about your hair. And, you had hair and you were like almost embarrassed because something, just leave alone.
Well, there's what you say and the way you say it and where you say it. If you see someone, you've known them for years and they've had hair, or it doesn't have to be hair. It could be, you had a leg amputated. What happened to you?
Some people just ignorant. They need to think about
and it was a
what
room
they're
full of people.
saying. Yes, and I mean that's real talk.
Yeah.
Think about what you're
Just
saying. It's not
exactly.
what you say; it's how you say it. We always say that. I say it all the time.
Yeah. So across the room, she goes, "So what happened to your hair? Why'd you cut your hair?" And
as hot as fish grease.
Well, actually, to that point, I say it was medical, or it's personal. My husband says, you owe no one an explanation.
You don't.
So when I first lost it, I was explaining to everybody. Somebody, I said, well, I lost my hair because I had this eye surgery. But this is the thing. I went to the doctor, for a post-op. And they kept saying, no, that could not happen. So I did some digging. And effluvium, it's a form of alopecia. And I'm trying to say about 10 different things because I'm thinking. But as I began to lose it, I'm going to circle back to that.
Okay, come on.
My scalp was sore. But see, I didn't know what it was. I had no idea, why is my scalp sore? So I'm thinking, if you go too long without washing your hair, I get sore scalp. And then my hair would fall out. And I thought, well, this is that. Maybe it's the product. I literally stopped using all synthetic products. That's when you find out how many synthetic products are out there for women. Just people, period. I'm not going to say women colors, just people. So not only did I lose my hair, I lost all of my hair. My eyebrows, my eyelashes.
Just like cancer.
And it was like I got burned. So that's when I said, this is like a poison. They put something in my body that it rejected. Now, for the most part, I'm very much a naturalist. I drink about a gallon of water a day. Sorry for my voice. I was getting sick.
Oh, you're fine.
Yes, I still.
As long as you stay over there.
Yeah, stay over there. Yes.
Okay, go on.
And so, and I try to eat right. I try to stay away from fried foods, too much sugar, blah, 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 blah. And I kept thinking, it's the sugar. Okay, it's whatever it is that I'm doing or drinking or eating. So I did everything in process elimination. Couldn't figure it out. And then that's when I said, okay, that's it. I'm not going to fight this. But I tell you what it did. It really gave me a spiritual balance. Because I began to lean more on God. Not on what people said or what people thought. And I get stares, and it's so funny because they can't figure out, I look healthy, but I look like, wait, did you have cancer? No, didn't. And children, they're very honest. And one little boy, I meant to tell you that, one of our services, he goes, what happened to her hair? And I said, you know what? Actually, I lost all my hair. So I just explained it to him. And he says, oh. And it was so adorable.
Oh, yeah,
Because
you
they were
missed
so
that. It was like,
innocent.
what's wrong? They are.
He was so innocent.
Oh, but you get a good teenager. What happened to your hair? What you think happened to you? sorry, my son said I didn't say that. I'll be like, what you think happened to my head? Because they would be saying something sarcastic or slick.
Yeah.
So I want to say with this, when we had women supporting women transforming struggles into empowerment, you did just that.
Mm-hmm.
We go through struggles, and when we have God, what people don't understand, and this is what I said when I have this podcast. This podcast is going to be about, you may have started out rough. You may have had where you didn't even think you were going to live.
See?
You've been in situations where everything was just chaotic and you don't know where you're going to go or what you're going to do. But when you have God, even when you lost your hair, I went through 22 years ago, so I know. But even with that, it was like, Lord, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
But you didn't have cancer.
Yeah.
You had that other, but I watched you, me and Michael, we would worry about you. You would talk to me and Michael Deshawn, my son. And you would talk to us, and sometimes you would show us how you were losing your hair. And I remember when you pulled your wig off, and you had,
a little bit of hair.
I wanted to just bawl. But I said, this is my girl. She's going through, and Michael Deshawn, we were hurt. But we held on.
Yes,
because
right.
you said when your daughter seen you, she just bawled like, oh, Mom.
My son just like, Mom.
Yes.
Because he's always known me to have hair.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when you have hair down to your back, in the middle of your back.
Oh, we got anybody talking about you got to come down.
Yeah, well, you? What you talking about? You did too. I told you we was Flojo running.
Yeah, that was years ago, girl. We was in high school.
That's okay.
We was in our 60s.
But we kept it. Look how long your hair is now. Yeah. It's a beautiful salt
do
pepper.
I need to turn this here?
Yes, see?
Okay,
She had her hat on. That's right.
let me show you my hair.
See, because you can't see from there. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I had.
Y'all want to see my hair?
So, okay, there we go.
Yep, look at that. No knot. No knots.
Yeah, well, you know how it goes.
I don't even have to shave it. You know, I don't even shave my hair. See, the men that have bald, but you know what's so funny?
What?
I noticed so many people that are bald. Men. It's like 4 or 5. I went to see a show, and this director, Betty
What was
Hart,
the name of it?
I don't remember.
Okay.
But it was Betty Hart had directed. It was a new piece that was done here in Denver.
Okay.
And there were 4 of us. 4 women that were
Oh, I
all
remember
bald.
you telling me about that.
It was the most beautiful. I said, you guys, we've got to take a picture. And Betty Hart has been rocking her bald since she came here from Atlanta. And she refuses to go to, and she's carrying on this burden she's had for 20 plus years.
Oh.
So what happens is you begin to affect other people. You can't keep a relationship, whether it's a male or female. You can't keep friendships because there's so much that's going on in your life that you need to release. And the thing is, we don't do as much reading. There's so many books that will allow you to escape, to give you a plan of what you're speaking of. Because you can say, okay, I want to go from here, from A to B, but I don't know how to get there. So you don't want to be telling everybody, okay, I'm going through this situation, you know, and I'm going through this, so I need help. So libraries still in existence. You know, you can't find everything on Google or YouTube, even though my daughter calls it YouTube University. But there's comes a time when you have to say, I need to find refuge. And I need to figure out what I'm going to do. Am I going to be in planning state? Okay, for my planning, I need to do a financial plan. How am I going to get from A to B? It's going to cost. So what do I need to do to get to that point? So that's just, I'm not a counselor, not even trying to profess to be one, but I'm just saying, just piggybacking off of what you're saying is, you have to take it beyond. And my suggestion is to do as much reading as you can. And sometimes that will numb a lot of the things that you're going through.
I've had where young men are being abused.
Yes, that's why I said women.
They really are, and we had a couple of cases where they swear up and down that they were set up to be killed. I watch what's that? ID.
Yeah, ID.
All that. I mean, that stuff is real.
Yes,
so
it is.
When you think about that, and we just have to be so careful. And last but not least, before we get through with the empowerment, what do you suggest to people No, you're not a counselor, but life itself has taught us a lot.
Mm.
We've seen a lot. We see a lot in this funeral home. We hear the stories, the horrific stories. Some of the things are just unreal. We've had police here. They had to come and wait till everyone was gone and come in and look at the casket to make sure possibly the murder weapon wasn't there. We've had families that I know that the mother had killed the baby, but we couldn't say anything until after the service because they were going to arrest her. That alone, being a mother, the thing people don't know, they just think, oh, this is the easiest in the funeral business. But mentally, we're dealing with a lot of trauma. Mentally, we're dealing with a lot of despair, suicides, and different things.
Oh.
So you're sitting here and you're thinking that it's okay. And then we're having to deal with, we know behind scenes. We know what's going on, but yet we have to still keep our calmness and we can't be relating different things. But that is something to know that a man has beat his wife. She's dead, and they want to see if there's anyone come in here to see if a gun or a knife or something is in the casket. We've been through all of that. So what would you recommend in, no one knows what goes on behind closed doors. No one knows. We're in a time now where it's just unreal of the abuse and the trauma and the killing and making someone want to just commit suicide. I don't even want to live. I can't do this anymore. So what do you suggest for people possibly that are just really going through that? We're talking about empowerment of women, empowerment of learning to handle, empowerment of learning God, empowerment of, I don't have any peace, but in the midst I'm just going through. God, I need you to be my peace. What do you recommend?
You know, that's a very good question. And I was thinking about the event earlier. And if you remember, you and I had gone into a different section of the VIP section, and there was a woman. And she walked up to us and she says, I don't remember her exact words, but you're a woman of God. Remember that?
She did. She did.
Now, there's a 700 plus women, and this woman comes up to us.
She's going to watch us tonight.
Yeah. And she comes up to us and she says, you're a woman of God. And she spoke to both of us. So when you are connected with God, you have that relationship.
Exactly.
Then people can see that. You're the light to someone's darkness. So sometimes you don't necessarily have to say anything. It's what you do. People watch you. They observe. And then they may or may not say anything to you. And you're right. We get so many people that come to the funeral home and they're already very broken, exactly, because of that loved one that is gone. And they don't necessarily know how to deal with the grief or, the grief, So just being who you are in God, in Christ, people will see that. And then that light draws them to your light. Their darkness will go to you. And then the next part of that is once you get the connection of the people and the energy, it's called energy. So once that energy has been permeated within that room from you, then you may ask a question. And I promise you, ask a couple of questions. It could be something like, I love your hair. So pretty. It's beautiful. What do you use on your hair? And you'd be surprised how many people love to talk about themselves once you get them started. And then that could be just a ministry in itself. You've spoken to that person, what allows them to be free just for maybe 10 minutes or however long the conversation is. But the point is there needs to be a lot more people that have Christ in them. So that those that are inducted, look at the people we're off of Colfax. Oh my gosh, talk about despair. You walk outside these doors and they're wandering around with their only possessions, and that's the backpack. And they're asking for money. And so we just have to be cognizant, aware of people around them. They're not invisible. They're human just like anyone else. A kind word, a kind gesture. You know what? Let me buy you a meal today. Don't be afraid of them.
No.
No.
You know, I always say when I go down, I always pray. I said, when they're
Mm.
homeless and laying on the street, I said, that's somebody's child.
Child, yes.
That's somebody's mother. That's somebody's husband. Somebody's grandchild, sister. So none of us, oh, you can say, well, I don't have that in my family. Keep living. Because you don't know what all you'll have in your family. Yeah, you may not go through right now, but we have to be humble and recognize what we're doing. Well, I guess, girl, we're going to tell me had a ball. I've just been told we got 5 minutes, so we're going to wind it down. I'm just, you know, this was wonderful.
This was fun. Thank you.
It was. I'm
Thanks for
happy.
inviting me.
Yeah, we'll have to do like we really clown everybody laughing. Because, you know, I'm going to do, and I need to say this, I'm going to do a show on stuttering. I used to stutter. I told you that.
Yeah.
I used to stutter, so I used to stutter, so I hit my leg.
Did y'all believe that one? I don't know.
I know. I'll be. Let me give you an example.
No.
Sorry. Okay. You know I keep it
That's the next episode.
Okay. It's coming up. You think I'm lying? I'm gonna tell how I used to hit my leg now, and my little brother would interpretate and go on, and it wasn't until later when I went through. I'll tell you later, but honey, that's gonna be a show. Cause everybody in my daddy's side stuttered, and we all be in the house sound like just a whole jabber. Everybody, so I'm gonna tell that story. I promise you. Because people need to know. A whole lot of people stutter.
Yeah.
Is stuttering fear? And my theme is stuttering. Is it fear, or you just can't talk? And I'm gonna tell you how God blessed me. You would never be able to tell I stutter. You said, "Hey, girl, how you doing?" Where before it'd be like.
I don't know if I believe this story.
I had to think about what I was going to say because I was trying to hold on. I was trying to be cute and couldn't talk now. So, I can talk now. I'm past that. So, you all, it's been a wonderful. Next week we'll be on it. I tell you, we're getting the kinks out. My team is bad, child.
I said, yeah,
So, we're going to, I ain't going to say your name until I have y'all. We all going to take a picture. And then I'm going to show. And so they're getting it together. Just work with us. When it does, you know how to. You know
and I
how
have to
do
commend
all
them because I thought we were going to do a podcast with a little phone and put it on the tripod.
Oh no, they real. They OG, baby. They know what they doing, child. But you in the process, you got to get it. You got to get the kinks out.
Yeah.
Got to get the kinks out.
Equipment.
So I think all this profession ain't nothing ghetto. I'm telling you, this ain't no hood rat. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, well, see, that's the real one.
Okay. This is some nice, classy stuff. I feel like I'm on TV. Next is going to be the Lequita Taylor TV show. How about that?
Oh, my.
Speaking, it shall come. But, you know, again, seriously, thank you. We appreciate Adrienne. It's been so real. I enjoyed you. We have been through the storm and the rain. But look at the glow. Your skin is absolutely beautiful. You are rocking that.
Thank you.
You know, I love you and your husband and Aubrey and just everyone. And
thank you.
We have such a history, and I'm so proud of you. You've been with me 18 years. Let's go another 18 more.
Yeah.
Okay?
Let's keep it going.
And I know. And so, again, thank you. And I appreciate you coming on my program. Real Talk with Lequita Taylor now. So, all until we see you, we talk to you next week. Be blessed. We thank you. And just keep praying for us as we pray for you. We love you now. Good night.